You're up in the sky, I'll carry you home.
Hey guys, how you going? What's going on? My name's Adam Dyson and welcome back to this mini-series. Today we're at Empress Falls and I'm going to run you through exactly how we shot this waterfall. I didn't actually realise it was going to be a mini-series, but it looks as though it is. In this series, I'm running you through exactly how I would shoot a particular shot, from my settings to my composition to my thought process and the lot. So there's no secrets spared here at all. If you are enjoying this little mini series, make sure you like and subscribe. Also chuck a comment in the comment section. Waterfalls are easily one of my favorite things to shoot. And yeah, I really hope you take something from it. Also, if you haven't already, make sure you jump over and watch the first video in this series. It gives you some really useful hints on seasons to visit waterfalls, as well as conditions. But yeah, click the link below and watch that one first. In this episode, I want to run through a little bit more in depth about the gear I use. But one thing to remember too is that it doesn't matter what gear you have. Any camera nowadays, including smartphones, will take an awesome photo. So please don't think that you need a really good camera to take really good photos. I did make a video on shooting really nice landscape photos with a really cheap camera. So I'll also chuck that in the link below. So I think the main thing to remember here is to get up early, hike for Ks and take awesome photos. And don't ever think that having a really expensive camera or a really nice camera is going to make you a better photographer, because trust me, it doesn't. I'm surprised they didn't write it on a tree. So we made it to Empress Falls and I can already tell from a really quick look that it's going to be a really tricky waterfall to get a really dynamic shot from. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my camera. Today I'm going to be shooting with a Fujifilm X-T2 and the 10 to 24mm lens. So I'm going to grab my camera out and I'm going to scout around for a bit and try to find a composition. So this is actually quite a hard waterfall to shoot, so I'm going to jump up to the second level here and see if I can find a composition there. Yeah, this will work better. So now that I've got myself up here, I've instantly found a composition. I think you start to get to a point in your photography when you look at locations and you pretty much instantly know where you're going to shoot and how you're going to shoot it. So it's always good to look at different areas first. And try, as I said in the previous video, try different lens lengths, try different, compositions, do some stuff that you've never done before, and maybe you'll surprise yourself and find something really nice. So I've played around with the composition for probably about 15 minutes now. I'm literally moving it like inches either way. So the main thing I'm trying to get with this image is I'm trying to get a bit of a leading line in this foreground that leads you up into the main falls. What I'll probably do as well is I'll probably end up putting myself in the photo up the top. So what I'm going to try to do by putting myself in there is to emphasize the scale of the waterfall. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a handful of exposures down here, adjust it so it works perfect for the composition with myself in it as well. The main thing I'm trying to do is place myself on a third line on the right hand side. It's not always the right hand side, but in this case it's going to be on the right hand side. So I'm quite happy with this composition now. I have the foreground leading into the middle ground and finishing in the background, which is actually the caves right up the top there. I'm also trying to emphasize the curves of the canyon up the top of the waterfall. I reckon they look really cool. They've also got some really nice light coming out of them as well. So another really good habit to get into is bracketing your exposure. So I normally always do an underexposed image, an evenly exposed image, and an overexposed image. The main reason is just in case I need that detail later on, I want to make sure that I have it. And I might not use all of those photos all the time, but I definitely want that there for post-production later on. So as I said before, my camera of choice today is the Fujifilm X-T2. I'm also using the Fujinon 10 to 24mm lens. My tripod is a Gitzo, not 100% sure, 05 something. I'm also using the Really Right Stuff BH40 head, and that's easily the best investment I've ever made. On the front of the camera, I'm using a Nissi filtered polarizing filter. It's a landscape version. That kind of really emphasizes the green foliage as well as taking some of the glare off the water. So after playing around for a little while, I've finalized my composition on the tripod, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bracket my exposure like I said before. Then the next step is I'm going to run up the top and place myself into the shot. The way that I do myself is I set my camera to the time-lapse mode. I normally set about a minute before it starts. That gives me time to get up to the top of wherever I need to get. And then I let it take a handful of shots, and then that's about it. And with a bit of editing, this is what the final image looks like. I think the idea of chucking a person in the image really adds a sense of scale to the waterfall. Without it, it's kind of just a waterfall and you don't actually see how big it is compared to a person. Anyway, I hope you really liked that short tutorial. If you did like it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you click the subscribe button as well. If you don't already, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Adam_Dyson. And until next time, I'll catch you later.